Is it working okay?
That's right now as we're talking because it comes into this snowball.
Okay.
Testing. Here we go. We're good to go. Thumbs up. Let's stick
You want to
around.
wait till people trickle in a little bit, or do you want me to start?
Nope. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Family, friends, students, and faculty, as we get started this evening, we'd like to take a moment of silence for those students and other individuals who died or were impacted in the recent shooting in Texas. Thank you. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to each of you here tonight and to those watching online as well. We're glad you made it. We're excited to share with you today and celebrate with each of you the accomplishments and the efforts of this year's senior class. The West Jefferson graduate commencement exercises are about to begin. Will the audience please stand and welcome your class of 2022.
evening, everyone. I'm Eliza Ander, your senior class secretary. I am delighted to be here for our commencement exercises. We expect the commencement exercise to last approximately 1 hour. Joining me up front today is school board members Chair Tanis Cherry, Vice Chair Willie Schmidt, Tyson Burtonshaw, Metro Perkins, and Andrew Rigby. School Counselor David Deemer, together with Superintendent Williams and Mrs. Williams. At this time, we ask that you please stand, and gentlemen, including the male graduates, remove your hats and direct your attention to the flag on the east wall for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Payne Scott, our senior class president, for the welcome address.
Thank you, Eliza. It's been an honor to be here at this event, the high point of this academic year, because today we celebrate the accomplishments and academic achievements for our students. Therefore, as mentioned, respect and decorum are important and expected. Very glad to stand here today and talk to you. I almost didn't get to make it because of my mother's English class, but we're here now, so. We've all reached huge milestones in our lives, and I got to thinking, there's 4 questions I'd like for you to think about as we go through this speech. First of all, where did we start? Almost 13 years ago, I started preschool with Kaylee Dowling, the Shoot twins, and at Laura Dowling's house. Christmas, we dressed up as elves and sang songs for our parents and made an ABC's book. We learned to glue, paste, and get along. So we all went to elementary school. There are so many things we learned. We learned multiplication tables, Mrs. Paul, as we passed each number off, we each added another part to our ice cream sundae that we got at the end of the year. Well, some of you enjoyed a full sundae. I think I maybe got about a spoonful of some whipped cream and maybe a scoop of ice cream, but it was all right. We had our behavior bucks in Mr. H's class as he was teaching us how to earn and spend money while learning to pay. My behavior bucks were always in the negative, either because of my behavior or because Cooper Tuckett was my banker. We played chess for math and got to play soccer just about every lunch hour. His class was pretty awesome. We survived Mrs. Johansson's pink slips. Then came the dreaded junior high. Well, at least I dreaded junior high. We learned how to take good notes from Mr. Hall. We memorized some of the Gettysburg Address with Mrs. Reynolds, and we survived math somehow after changing the program every year. We found getting sent to the office was a lot more fun than staying in Mrs. Flansburgh's English class. I'm sure we have all had our own interesting memories of those times. When we found ourselves in high school, and I ask now, what have we done? I get to this point of sitting here thinking about how far we have come as individuals and as a class. Looking back freshman year, it seemed like just yesterday. There's that first girlfriend, that second girlfriend, that third girlfriend, the part where it was finally figuring out it was that you were the problem. We found there was not an upstairs to the high school. Well, most of us didn't. We've taken close to 66 classes each, gotten up early or stayed up really late to study, found our lockers, and found many new friends. We've taken dual credit classes, certified as EMTs, welded, fixed cars, and made huge portfolios for our senior project. Wrote a lot, some more, and made claims and defended them. Did science labs, learned about the body, did proofs, passed pre-calculus and tests. Okay, well, not me, but some of you did. We learned to make beautiful wood projects, grow plants, and take care of animals. We've learned history and government, and many of us had the opportunity to go and see that action in the East Coast. We performed as leads in plays, been in band, participated in FCCLA, FFA, and BTA. We have counsel, advised, and helped at the office. We've cooked, spoken, drawn, taken photos, written research papers, argumentative papers, read novels, and talked about them. We've run a lot of miles, taken a lot of hits on the field, shot foul shots, been thrown on the mat. Sorry, excuse me. Run ladders till we puke, scored points, played defense, spike, serve, tackle, run for touchdowns, across the finish line, vaulted, run up mountains and down mountains. We have practiced and played many hours, lived on a bus, stood up in the spring winds and played in the snow. We have won the Panther Olympics, won the big games, danced at prom and girls' choice. We have passed and failed tests. We have not completed some of our work. Some of us have failed, but we have tried again. We have quit, we have been cut, we have gotten hurt, and we have rehabilitated and tried again. We have made some poor choices, we have done some dumb things. We have had to be disciplined or receive a lecture. We've been tardy and we've gone over our days, but no matter what, we have come back stronger. We have learned a lot, contradicted some of our teachers' and parents' opinions. When the load was too much, we Snapchatted and texted and TikToked about it. We survived and lived a part of history during the pandemic when 1/3 of our sophomore year just disappeared. We appreciate a district and administration that allowed us to come back our junior year and be somewhat back to normal. We want to appreciate maybe what we thought we didn't like. Sorry. Appreciate maybe what we thought we didn't like. We've qualified for state, one district short big games, help teachers. Sorry. Can we get a round of applause for our administration?
Thank you.
None of this would be possible for all of you who are in this gym and more. Let's start with the community. You have done so much for us as well. You've coached us in Greek Kid as we ran around like chickens with our heads cut off. You've cheered at our games, bought tickets to our plays, come to our activities, hired us to work, helped at our activities. You have led us through 4-H, bought our animals, contributed to scholarships we have received. You've laughed with us, sent us notes of encouragement, and have watched us grow. Class of 2022, I'd like to ask you now, please stand and give our wonderful community a standing ovation for their love, support, and encouragement. Next is our teachers, and that's a long list I shared. Next is our teachers, that long list I shared about for the 4 past years. You had a direct hand in creating, doing, teaching, and helping with. You have spent countless hours on our behalf, and we all deeply appreciate it. We may not have always acted like we liked it, but our careers and future endeavors will be created around many things that you have shown us. We're leaving prepared, and that is because you care and do your job so well. My mom always said that these moments are like her payday, but most of us, we know that teachers do not get paid enough for what they do for us. So tonight, at the end, I'd like to give each of the teachers a payday. Class, will you please once again stand and give a rounding ovation for our teachers. Last but not least, we of course need to thank our parents and loved ones. Without them, none of this would be possible, but one of the greatest things that you have ever done for us is to love us no matter what. You have been our advocates, our alarm clocks, our calendars, our best cheerleaders, cried with us, yelled at us to be better, given us a hug and showed up for us. You have fed, read, worried, prayed, and been in the background hoping we would get to this point. We love and appreciate everything you have done for us. Finally, well, where are we going? As we leave here, we do so as better and smarter than where we started. We aren't perfect, and we still have such an amazing journey before us. In what place we settle and in whatever we choose to do, we have the opportunity to make the world a better place. I believe in all of our future potential and wish you luck in our individual journeys. While we may say we are sick of each other, remember that we have the opportunity to gather at reunions to remember these wonderful times. Let's stay in touch and try to still be in each other's corners. As we end our time together, I think about where we are going, and I'd like us to stand one more time and do the last part of our school, the last part of our school chant from our school song, and really say the words and think about what they really mean and where we come from. Can you guys all stand for me? Ready? So just fight, Panthers fight, that last part. Nice. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Fight, Panthers fight, and do your best. Remember, you're fighting for all West Jeff. Please remember where you started and what you have done and who has helped you and where you're going. Thank you so much. Now allow me to introduce our counselor, Mr. David Emar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered today to celebrate the achievements of a group of exceptionally talented individuals. To date this year, the graduating class of 2022 has earned $490,278 in offered scholarships. Please join me in a round of applause for their academic achievement. Before our graduation speaker addresses us, please relax and enjoy the slideshow presentation by our senior class officers. Many thanks to Lyndon Wood for putting this together.
All the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars. And the bass keeps running, running, and 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 running. tonight.
Graduates and distinguished guests, it is now my honor to recognize the senior class valedictorian McKenna Neville and salutatorian JC Lansbury, who will now receive their award and then speak to us. Let's congratulate each of them as they come up to the podium.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Williams, Principal Davis, faculty and staff, honored guests, family, friends, and most of all, the graduating seniors of 22. It is an honor to be the West Jefferson High School 2022 valedictorian. Fellow graduates, we did it. We made it. We made it through kindergarten, where we learned the letters of the alphabet and how to write our names. In 4th grade, we made it through memorizing 144 multiplication facts on the multiplication table. We made it through 6th grade, when stamps were the latest trend, and an unstamped planner would send us to the grind. We made it through 8th grade, when we thought we were the kings and the queens of West Jefferson Junior High and Elementary. Freshman year, we were young and excited for new opportunities. We jumped from being on top of the world to being on the bottom of the totem pole, but we made it through. We didn't just make it through sophomore year, but we also made it through a worldwide pandemic, quarantine, and homeschool. We made it through junior year, where we realized that COVID-19 had wiped out all our motivation of doing anything school related. But we rallied and we are better because of it. And now we have made it through senior year, and the senior projects, the research papers, the scholarship applications, the college applications, and all the decision making for our future. We made it through the countless hours of studying, the early mornings, the late nights, the cram sessions, the classes, the homework assignments, the stress, the tears, and if you didn't cry, it's okay, because I shed a lot of tears for all of us. We made it through the happy times and the sad times. High school, like Charles Dickens said, was the worst of times, but it was the best of times. Throughout all this, we made lifelong friends, lasting memories, and we have left our mark on West Jefferson High School. We are once again moving on, young and excited for new opportunities. Along the way, we have been guided by teachers, staff, family members that have helped shape us into the people we are today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for all their time and support they have given us throughout our high school journey. We could not have done it without them. Thank you. Graduates, today was the last time we walked through these doors as high school students. Tonight, we will walk out as West Jefferson alumni. We are starting a new chapter of our lives. Kerry Washington said, "Your life is your story, and the adventure ahead of you is the journey to fulfill your own purpose and potential." The world is full of possibilities. We have the opportunity to make life our own, to follow our dreams. We have the ability to accomplish anything that we set our minds to, and the capability to go out and do good in the world. Each of us has the chance to do something to change the world. We may become artists, doctors, lawyers, accountants, politicians, police officers, maybe even teachers. Don't be afraid to work hard enough to find out how good you really can be. Doc Brown said, "Your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one." Class of 2022, the future is ours. It is in our hands. Just like we have made it through high school, let's go out into the world and make it. Thank you. We will now be pleased to hear from our salutatorian, J.C. Master.
So I heard I was giving a speech 9 hours ago. So like everything at this school, it's gonna be a little bit last minute. I've learned so much through this school year, mostly from my teachers. Calculus taught me to solve problems and to work through tough situations. English taught me to look at the deeper meaning. Drama and sports taught me that we must play our part, and no matter how small every role is, it counts. In history, Gore taught me, and I quote, "The best thing Andrew Jackson did for America was die." Sorry, Mr. Gore. It really taught me how all of our choices will impact us and that we need to learn from them to be successful. Through the classes, I learned about myself, how much of a procrastinator I truly am. And while I'm at home procrastinating, a lot of the time spent is watching movies. So although my teachers taught me good, I learned a good amount of my stuff from the brilliant minds in the cinematic universe. First off, we are all too legit to quit. Hot rod. We are here and we have not quit, which means we are too legit to quit. No matter what our come together and clean up messes, build each other up, and never miss a chance to do the unpredictable. I also learned about my future from these movies and TV shows. When I think about college, my mind only goes to one thing: The Office. I knew exactly what I was doing, but in a much more real sense, I had no idea what to do. Michael Scott. Kevin Malone said, "I just want to lie on a beach and eat hot dogs. That's all I've ever wanted." These characters emulate exactly what I see in the future for myself and many of you as well. But that's okay, because we have our whole lives to figure it out. We will only reach the first checkpoint in our journey. A good quote to live by is strive for progress, not perfection. In any great TV show, there are mistakes and struggles. The same can be said for us. We will not get a perfectly yellow brick road to follow along the way, and we may think that we're alone a lot. But as we progress, we will find our way in the world and succeed just like we did today. We don't always know what we'll get out of life. A wise man once said, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." Or Scout. That is what we're going to get out of as we leave high school behind and enter into the world. I can tell that everyone here is going to go do amazing things in life, whether planned for or a surprise to everyone. This is a class meant for success. I believe that in 10 years, when we come back together, we will look fondly over our years here and be proud of how far we've come. Thank you, West Jefferson, for giving us these experiences. Congratulations, class of 2022. Just gonna send it.
This year's graduation speaker will be Mrs. Sherry Bell. She has taught for 20 years at West Jefferson and has been described as a mathematical and instructional wizard. Please welcome Mrs. Bell.
On my desk is a stuffed bear that wears a shirt that reads, "Do math and you can do anything." That seems like a really big statement, but there's more truth in that than most people realize. Believe it or not, you have learned a lot of things in your math class that are going to help you in life. Let me explain by describing some of these life lessons you've learned in my classroom. First, you don't know have to know how to solve the problem before you begin. I've had students sit and stare at a math problem for hours and still not know what to do. You could think about what to do in life for hours as well and not have any solutions. My advice is the same for both situations. Just try something. Most of the time, you can't predict where you'll end up. Just go for it and you'll figure it out along the way. One way to figure it out is through trial and error. In math, sometimes you plug in numbers to understand a problem better. It can be a tedious process, but it can give you insight and can be effective. You learned how to walk, talk, and write your name all through trial and error. It's still a good strategy, no matter how old you are or what you're trying to do. There's more than one way to solve a problem. Life rarely gives you black and white choices. Sometimes you must choose between multiple good options. Thinking outside the box can be a good thing. You have to take what you know from past experiences and come up with a creative way to solve a problem. In math problems, you had to go step by step, although there were options in those steps. Sometimes when we graphed an equation, it was easier to see what was happening and we could understand the problem better. Sometimes we drew a picture and we tried to look at the problem a different way. There are short and long methods, and you can do either one because they will both get you to a solution. I've seen some really creative ways to solve math problems, but they still get the correct answer. Life is the same way. Be open to looking at things from a different perspective. Fourth, sometimes you don't have all the necessary information. You might have to apply other knowledge to be able to solve a math problem. In life, you might need to search, ask, or work to find information to be able to continue. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You ask me questions all the time. Sometimes you can't get the answer on your own. When faced with a problem, lean on your friends and family. The ability to admit what you don't know is a crucial life skill. But don't give up. You must apply what you learned and keep moving forward. If the problem is too challenging, break it down. When solving a story problem, we took it one sentence at a time. The answer to a problem may be simple, but the steps to get there may not be. Some math problems required pages of work, and while the answer was easy, the journey wasn't. There were several times we took the entire class period to solve one problem. Showing your work is not just for math class. Write in a journal so you can understand your thought process. How did you draw that conclusion? Why did you make that decision? It's important to ask yourself these questions. Reflecting on where you started and where you are now helps you remember all the amazing things that you've accomplished. Even if you have an end goal in mind, the journey isn't always easy. Carolyn Meese said, life is a journey of either fate or destiny. Fate is the result of giving in to one's wounds and heartaches. Your destiny unfolds when you rise above the challenges of your life and use them as divine opportunities to move forward to unlock your higher potential. I challenge you to use the experiences you go through in life to move yourself forward and become someone greater than you can imagine. Number 6, the little things make all the difference. When you start to simplify an equation and you multiply 2 times 3 and get 5, that mistake carries through the whole problem and you end up getting the wrong answer. If you drop a negative, it will completely change your answer, even if you do everything else correctly. Sometimes you mess up on the simple things in life as well. Try to pay attention to the details. Treat others with kindness and respect. Always be grateful and live every day so you have no regrets. William James said that everything you do be done as if it makes a difference. I really believe that everything you do does make a difference. Know that you'll make mistakes. Even the greatest minds have had to work problems over and over again. Failure isn't the end. You'll make mistakes in life. But remember, when you make a mistake, that is when your brain is growing the most. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. It's okay to be wrong. How often do we expect ourselves to get everything right? It's easy to tell if you got the math problem correct. Sometimes you think you did everything right, but you still ended up with the wrong answer. That's why math is graded with partial credit. Knowing how to start counts for something. Life is a process of learning. The smartest people I know still have so much to learn. They haven't reached the end. They're still working towards the answer to life. Michael LeGrand said, the more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the less I know. Our pursuit of perfect will lead us to improve our skills, but we shouldn't lessen or ignore our wrong answers. We all want to be good people and make good decisions. It's up to us to embrace the challenges we get wrong during the process. That is when we learn the most. Number 8, keep your equations balanced. When you do to one side of an equation, you have to do the same thing to the other side. Life has to be balanced as well. You must balance many different responsibilities and still have time for yourself. An unbalanced life is like division by 0. Let me explain my comparison. If I have a plate with 3 cookies on it and you take 2, you have 2/3 of the cookies. The bottom number, or the denominator, is the whole of the thing I have, or 3 cookies, each being an equal part of the whole. The top number, or the numerator, is how many cookies you have taken. But what if I gave you 5 divided by 0 cookies? That means the whole of what I have is 0 cookies on the plate, and you took 5. That's impossible. That's why division by 0 is no solution or undefined. In your life, you have family, friends, work, community, church, education, all things that you have to give time to. If you don't have any time to give, that causes stress. Remember, you always have to keep adjusting, but it is important to give to yourself as well. You can't give out any cookies if you don't have any to start with. Maybe slower is better. We've all tried to rush through a math homework assignment and wanted to be the first one finished. With math, it was wiser to take your time and understand the process and stay focused. The fundamentals you learned in math provide the basis for the new material you are being taught. Spending a little more time on the basics can make the rest of your learning so much easier. The same is true with life. Don't rush through things. Enjoy the journey. Doing math taught you to do things in order. You must focus on what needs to be done first before you can jump ahead. Take your steps in order. It makes life easier. Don't do something before it is time. Peralta Goddess said, don't be in a hurry to turn the page. Live and experience the current phase of your life with ease and calm. The page will turn by itself. Let's review all these things we've talked about. You don't have to know how to solve a problem before you begin. One way to figure things out is through trial and error. There's more than one way to solve a problem. Sometimes you don't have all the necessary information. If the problem is too challenging, break it down. The little things make all the difference. Know that you'll make mistakes. Keep your equations balanced, and maybe slower is better. Math can be challenging and occasionally frustrating to everyone, even the smartest person you can think of. In the book, Visible Learning from Mathematics, it states, if you review the biographies of great mathematicians, the common denominator is that they knew how to struggle. They knew it was not exceptional talent that enabled success, but the ability to persist, to enjoy the struggle, to see the growth of their learning as a function of seeking help, and listening to others solve problems and to try again. That was an important quote. I want to state a little bit of it again. They knew how to struggle. It wasn't exceptional talent that made them succeed. They were able to persist. They enjoyed the struggle. They listened to other people and learned from it, and they kept trying. Similarly, life can also be really tough at times, but stay patient, keep trying, enjoy the struggle, meet the challenges, and try again. It will pay off. Remember, do math, and you can do anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bell. Now I invite our principal, Mr. Jeff Davis, to announce the names of the graduates for the 2022 school year and the awarding of certificates and diplomas for the graduating class. Mr. Davis.
We'd like to thank the school board, Superintendent Williams, graduates, family, friends, and have the opportunity to present to you the candidates for graduation from West Jefferson High School for this school year 2021 to 2022. Graduates, as your name is called, please come forward to be honored and receive your diploma. Eliza Andrew. Tyson Barzee. Haley Belknap. Dylan Bergshaw. Matthew Carlisle. Katie Dowling. Katie Dowling. Lindsay Dowling. Adrian Leonante. Branson Ingerson. Wendy Flores. Bridger Garner. Camry Hall. Stephen Hansen. Jared Harrelson. Emily Lentz. JC Lounsbury. Aubrey Lundholm. Kimber Meekum. McKenna Neville. Keston Newman. Omar Noriega. Taylor Peterson. Amberlynn Reeder. Everett Richards. Matt Rigby. Kaya Robbins. Benson Robinson. Kasdan Rogers. Tiz Rodriguez Delamo. Aaliyah Janice Rojas. Ray Roundy. Cameron Sauer. Peyton Scott. Andrew Sharp. Trinity Smith. Hiram Spencer. Zoe Thompson. Diana Trejo. London Wood. Cameron Wright. Kurt Wright. Cynthia Montalban. Rose Vasquez. Kiera Young. And Ni Yu. We've got a full podium here with ducks for our chairman of West Jefferson School District Board, Candace Cherry, to certify the completion of the requirements of these candidates. Candace.
As board chair, after careful review of curriculum requirements and based upon the recommendation of the school principal, I have found that each of these candidates has completed the requirements for graduation. I therefore certify that these candidates for graduation have fully satisfied the requirements prescribed by the Idaho State Department of Education and the West Jefferson School District. As chair of West Jefferson School District, I now confirm each of you high school graduates of West Jefferson High School for the 2021-22 school year. It is now my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Neville, our senior class vice president for the changing of the tassels.
And now, graduates, please rise. It is time to move your tassels from the right side to the left side to signify your graduation. If you ever forget which side your tassel goes on, remember that you wear it on the left side over your heart to remind you of your alma mater.
Okay. May we call on Payne Scott, our senior class president, for our closing remarks.
Let me be first to offer my warmest congratulations to you for a prosperous and successful future. This day signifies a new beginning for each and every one of us. In addition to earning the diplomas conferred upon us today, we have earned the right to be associated with a very special group of individuals. We can now call ourselves alumni of West Jefferson High School. Would all of the alumni please stand? Like everybody, crowd included, yeah, all alumni. Nice. Okay, alumni, by your applause, please welcome us amongst your ranks. Let us safely enjoy a night of celebration with our families. Thank you. Mrs. Parker, at this time, will you please lead the recessional out of the gym?
Would you like to stand? As we wrap up tonight, let's give our class of 22 and 2 a big round of applause. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you all for coming. Feel free